Today it's just to remember my mother, who was murdered in 1984 in a bomb blast.
My daddy and my granddad didn't like me being around Protestant. They just didn't really like me being around Protestants in case something like the Troubles would happen to me.
They only know half the story, so that's the reason that they feel all this hatred towards us, because they assume we're the bad guys, or my side assumes they're the bad guys.
Why would a group of American high school students travel to Belfast, Northern Ireland to learn about a conflict called the Troubles? After all, only 10 to 30% of high school students actually study this long-lasting conflict from many thousands of miles away. They're part of an innovative program called CHS TV+, where students step outside their comfort zones and share their passion for broadcast journalism and storytelling. Through the program, students from Carlsbad High School in Southern California connect with young people everywhere, from a remote Yupik village in Alaska to the vibrant city of Cardiff, Wales. But this trip is different. Instead of teaching and inspiring, they're here to learn about the Troubles, and that is where we begin our story.
Belfast is a city in Northern Ireland, and we got to go there with the CHS TV crew and shoot a documentary on the Troubles. I think Belfast is an amazing place. It was really fun to experience the culture and learn about the history, as well as meet people there. And overall, I just think it was a great experience and we learned a lot.
The Troubles was a time when people in Northern Ireland, especially in Belfast, were fighting and not getting along. It lasted from the late 1960s to 1998. The big question was, should Northern Ireland stay in the United Kingdom or join Ireland? Most Protestants, or Unionists, wanted to stay British. Most Catholics, or Nationalists, wanted to join Ireland. The situation got worse over time. There were bombings, shootings, and soldiers on the streets. Many everyday people were caught in the middle. The violence lasted about 30 years. It mostly ended with the Good Friday Agreement. Today, Belfast is much more peaceful, but some divisions are still there. Most of the CHS TV students prior to this trip had never heard about the Troubles.
Before going to Ireland, I had absolutely no clue about the Troubles. I didn't know a single thing. I've never heard of it.
To be honest, I didn't even know they existed before I learned about them.
I didn't know the danger that some people have faced currently, or the extent of the danger that people faced in the past either.
And so, this is where our story begins. On the Shankill Road, just a few yards from the Peace Wall.
What surprised me most was how much they got along together. They're like best friends. You couldn't separate any of them. Even though they're all from different backgrounds, some are Protestant, some are Catholic, they're all so close together and they're like brothers and sisters.
This group of Belfast teens meet on a Thursday evening at our city, where they build relationships with fellow teens from the Catholic and Protestant communities. At our city, they gain an understanding of the similarities and differences between them. The Carlsbad students and the our city teens bonded almost immediately.
Right away, everyone there was super friendly, and I introduced myself to them, and everyone was very welcoming. And from then on that night, it was a really great experience getting to bond with the kids there.
Moments earlier, and again 24 hours later, Carter and Jackson would introduce some of the Belfast young people to a live audience at Carlsbad High School, more than 5,000 miles away in California.
Going live with the Our City kids that night, it was really interesting because that was the first time anybody in Carlsbad was going to hear about this story and what we were doing in Ireland live on CHS TV. So it was definitely a challenge trying to figure out how do we keep this report good for our audience here in Carlsbad, while also making sure they understand like the message of what we're trying to do in Ireland, but also keep them entertained with kind of the lighthearted nature of our daily live show on CHS TV.
And last but not least, can you teach me a little bit of Irish slang? I grew in Northern Ireland, I want to learn some Irish slang, so what do you have for me?
So some people from here would usually say like, what's the crack or what's happening? I would like kind of stand for like, what's up? So if you were going to talk to your friends and you would go over and you'd be like, what's the crack, or something else that people were saying.
For the next 5 days, the Carlsbad students will learn about the Troubles from the unique perspective of the Belfast teens and discover that the conflict is not about religion.
It's really not about religion at all, honestly. It's more geopolitical.
I did a story on 4 our city girls, 3 of whom were Protestant, 1 of which was Catholic. And when I did their interviews, they were definitely nervous to be on camera, but they wanted to tell their story. And when I was able to ask each of them what it was like growing up, thinking of the other side of a certain way, they both gave the same exact answer, which is that we grew up learning to hate each other, but we all bleed the same blood, and it's what our city taught them. So in my story, I kind of dive into the teenage aspect of what the Troubles is and how they were able to come to their new perspectives through our city.
Growing up, my daddy and my granddad didn't like me being around Protestant. They just didn't really like me being around Protestants in case something like the Troubles would happen to me, and they didn't want me to end up like hurt or anything.
Around here and in the society nowadays, you don't really get the chance to make friendships with the other side of the wall and the other communities, and I feel like our city's just such a big place that is really important on that and really wants to bring the communities together.
You don't get to choose it. You're either you're here, you're a Catholic or a Protestant. Nothing. You don't get to choose what side of this wall means what to you. It's where you're born or where you're from.
Right over there, I can see it. It's the Catholic side right past these gates. And we are currently standing in Protestant territory right now. As you can see with the Union Jacks, welcome to Shankill Road. And if we went over there, it would be Catholic churches, Irish flags, and it's definitely, there's a lot of division here.
My impression of the Peace Wall is that it seems to be there for a reason. I feel like how big it is, how there's barbed wire at the top, there's gates that close at 10 p.m. It's obviously there for a reason. And seeing that wall really made me realize how much the Troubles are still impacting people today.
If the Troubles weren't a thing, maybe Catholics and Protestants could live in the same community where there's peace, but there's many riots going on at the moment. Like at the bottom of the Shankill, we lads sit there and riot all the time, and it's very unsafe for people.
I feel that the importance of the Peace Wall is to not divide the communities, but stop the communities from fighting and doing stuff like anti-social behaviour.
They only know half the story, so that's the reason that they feel all this hatred towards us, because they assume we're the bad guys, or my side assumes they're the bad guys. It's up to whoever they want to assume.
You had to roll down your window. The soldier put his gun into your car, to the side of your head. Who are you? Where are you going?
On Easter Sunday, thousands of spectators line the Falls Road to catch a glimpse of the Belfast Easter Parade, an emotional tribute to those who fought and died in the pursuit of Irish independence.
On Sunday, we went over to the Catholic parade, and that was honestly one of the coolest things that I've ever seen in my life. It was so amazing to see all of those people outside in, the beauty of Ireland as a whole, and just all celebrating, and kind of like I was really able to get a much better grasp on where I was and how much these stories truly mean to these people.
A lot of people during the parade, there was a group of people that had photographs of loved ones, that like their grandparents or their parents, and they were walking in the parade, and it was kind of like a memorial for those they had lost in the Troubles.
Today it's just to remember my mother, who was murdered in 1984 in a bomb blast. She's dead over 40 years, so most of the people you see here, they're just remembering overwhelmingly their civilian dead from the conflict.
Being able to see all of those people in one area really just celebrating something they care so much about was definitely a great experience. I'm super happy that I was also able to document that, because now I'll be able to look back in who knows how many years and see that I was there.
The parade on Easter Sunday was insane. I am so grateful to be able to be there. It was lots of people with playing music and marching, and seeing the atmosphere there, seeing how many people were lined up on the side watching was amazing. And then there's also people in the back that had pictures of their loved ones that sadly passed away.
There is a great divide in this country. As you can see from down the road, there's a peace wall literally separating the communities. This here is just a way of us preserving ourselves for the culture.
Belfast is not black and white.
Belfast has so many different layers. It's multifaceted. It has very different storylines. It's divided. At the same time, it's not. But it's not black and white. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's a gray area. I don't think I knew what the troubles exactly were before we even started talking about this trip. Socially and kind of politically, there's a divide too. As a kid, usually you wouldn't be hanging out with a Protestant kid if you were Catholic, or you wouldn't be hanging out with a Catholic kid if you were Protestant. And I think that's really interesting to me because things have trickled down from history and political issues that really just affect people's lives, people's social lives. There's no exceptions. It's in stone. And I think that was really interesting to me because we're in 2026. And I saw this as something that would be in history, maybe something that I would learn about in a class, but I was there, experienced it myself, and that was crazy to me.
Belfast. Originally, what the word meant to me was this completely foreign place that had so much history surrounding it, and now it's a place that holds so many memories with so many new people, and an experience where I got to open up my eyes to the world.
To the Our City kids, I am extremely beyond grateful for how much, honestly, they've taught us. We were able to go there and learn so much about their lives, so much about what they experienced, and so much about what's going on in Belfast. I am very much inspired by them. They've been able to come together, and I'm truly inspired by that.
I don't really see the point in hating everyone because you're all just a person. You're all the same. You come from the same country.
As the time the Carlsbad students had in Belfast draws to a close, the stories these young journalists carry are no longer just about conflict, borders, or history books. In the streets where murals still speak, they found something unexpected: each other. What began as a documentary film became a friendship, stitched together through candid conversations, shared laughter, late-night editing sessions, and the courage to listen. But the bonds they built here will travel with them forever.
This is absolutely like one of the most beautiful places I've seen in my entire life.